Trying to do a quick live show here. It's kind of tough doing live shows when your channel's not too big. Sometimes you can have a successful one, sometimes nobody just shows up. So we shall see. If you're watching this video and it's uploaded, that means the live show was a success somewhat or really well. If you haven't subscribed, I implore you hit that red subscribe button. It's free, it costs you nothing, it's a free investment. This show, Cowboy Sports Report by Charles in Charge, in time, because it takes time, will become one of the top shows that you look forward to watching whenever I put out a video or go live. First goal is to reach 500, then 1,000 subscribers. When I do that, the show will take off. And when I hit 500, I'll be able to monetize it. And every dime the channel brings in will go to building the channel, because right now it's my Galaxy and I. So microphone, studio equipment, sound bites, a computer just for this, for film and graphics, so I can show y'all things instead of just saying them. And a call online for live shows, which I think is super key for any live show. I don't know why Law Nation's like the only one that has a call-in line. I love his show. I love calling in. He's the one that inspired me to do this. I should have started this a long time ago. I didn't know how easy it was to start your own your own deal. I'm 37, not too hip to technology. My first game was Super Bowl 28, Cowboys Bills Part 2 at the Georgia Dome. That was my first Cowboy game that I witnessed, and ever since then I've bled blue. That was when I was 6 years old. So for 31 years, I've lived and died with every play, every game. Played my entire youth, been a student of the game my entire life. With me, it's God, family, and Cowboys, and then country. But yeah, that's how my life order ranks in that, perspective. Title for this live show is what we want to see in week 11 with us and our foes. And y'all believe in any of this Bellicheck hype? If for some reason we don't reach the third round of the playoffs, we don't reach a championship game this year, and McCarthy gets canned, do y'all think Bellicheck will be, wearing the star next year on his shirt, on his hoodie, on the sidelines? He'd be inheriting a very good team. He'd be inheriting a very good defense. And he is the best defensive coordinator in NFL history. Very arguably, you could say that. And you could arguably say he's the best coach in NFL history, head coach. Right now, he's got a team with no talent. Quarterback that could be something, but has nobody to throw to. This team, Cooks will be on this team next year. This team, you got Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb, who's looking like a top 3 wideout right now. If Michael Gallup can get his crap together, a solid, good number 3 in Michael Gallup, who made 2 splash plays against the Giants. All we need Michael Gallup to do is just be the X receiver. Trust that knee. And our first round pick solidify that left tackle spot, unless Tyron Smith feels he can go another year or two. And if he can, more power to him, because whenever he plays, he is awesome. Like I said, against the Eagles, Tyron Smith looked like a man amongst boys. He did. I mean, he was dominating that left side. So that's why everybody else eating was going on the right side on Terrence Steele. If he can get past that, rehab phase to where he can shift his hips and move like he could last year before the injury, before he shredded his knee, will be in good shape. But he cannot be a turnstile, especially against defensive fronts like Phillies or St. Fran's. That Josh Sweat sack he let up basically into the game. If Terrence Steele don't let Josh Sweat get by him in 1 second, and we actually run that play from the 11 with 27 seconds left, we probably win that game. But Terrence Steele turnstile all ball game. If he wouldn't get Dak sacked, he was getting Dak hurried and pressured. We're all worried about left tackle all season. Worried about left tackle, left guard, thinking about bringing in Dalton Reisner. Everybody's wanting Dalton Reisner to get signed, wanting us to bring him in. So the second year boy, Tyler Smith can stay at left tackle, and then Tyron could be the swing. But we didn't really realize the biggest worry was right tackle. We thought Terrence Steele, who it's a miracle that he was able to even start week one. I mean, Lyle Collins had the exact same injury Terrence Steele did, shredded his knee completely, and he's still not cleared to play yet. Free agent, still not medically cleared by a doctor. He's very, very close. And somebody that we might kick the tires on later in the season to come in to bring offensive line depth, at least to the right side of the line. I I think, he's very, I mean, he's got enough experience. I know he's like 30, 31 now, but, he can play right tackle if Terrence Steele got knocked out. I also believe that he could play on the left side too if he needed to. He's better than what Let's Go. Probably better than Chuma would be on the left side. I mean, Chuma is serviceable, below average. I think Lyle Collins could be average on the left side, but could still be. He was good for Cincy on the right side. He wasn't bad. He was good. He just had that injury, and they decided to move on from him in the offseason, being that he's, going on the other side of 30 now. So Martavius Bryant, we bring in. Don't be surprised if Lyle Collins we bring in later in the season. We got two people right now in the house. All we need is five. We get 5, 6 guys. We can spit some fire. The two people that are watching right now, give me y'all a score prediction on this road game against Carolina, which will even us up with the last 12 road games at 500 at 6-6. We're 5-6 in the last 11 road games, so this will even us up at 500 on the road. And then our next 3 games are at home in a row: Washington, Seattle, and Philly. Back-to-back winning teams, Seattle and Philly right there. But week 11 has a lot of implications, a lot of big games. And we've had a couple weekends where we've hit the trifecta. We're damn near close to where we win and the top NFC teams lose. Like the Jets lose, Jets beating Philadelphia and Cincinnati beating San Fran, and then us beating the Chargers, the following Monday night. Detroit won that week, but got blown out by Baltimore the week after. So Detroit's one game better than us. We played them week 17, so we can handle them. Seattle right now is the 5th seed or the 6th seed. We're both 6-3, but all 3 of our losses are conference losses. That's the key. If you're going to lose, you want to lose to the AFC. If you're going to go 12-5, you want all 5 of your losses to be AFC losses, because that means you swept your division and you won all your conference games. So when it comes down to any kind of tiebreaker, you're going to win. But all of our losses, Arizona, San Fran, and Philly, all conference and 1 division. Not bad. Not good. And if we beat Philly, we will have split with them, but we will probably both be 5-1 in the division. So therefore it goes to conference records. Philly's only losses against the Jets. And if they lose against Kansas City, yeah, they'll have 2 losses, but that's 2 AFC losses, 0 conference losses. I think San Fran can beat them December 3rd, especially if they're healthy and they play like they did at Jacksonville. They dismantled a good Jacksonville team by 32 points. 32-point win. They dismantled that team. If Philly drops 2 of the next 3, which we need them to, I don't see them losing to Buffalo. Buffalo can't get out of their own way. Josh Allen is last year's Dak Prescott, except he's not winning football games. But nobody's really talking about that. About Josh Allen's 11 interceptions and 4 lost fumbles, 15 turnovers already mid-season. It's only mid-season. He's already given the ball away 15 times. Nobody's really talking about that like they were, Dak. And nobody's worried about pulling the reins in and handcuffing Josh Allen like we handcuffed Dak Prescott for the first 5 weeks of the season. Had we not have done that and we let Dak cook the first 5 weeks of the season, we probably wouldn't have been 3-2. We probably would have been 4-1. Still probably would have lost against San Fran, but wouldn't have lost against Arizona if we'd have just let that rock get thrown. But no, first 5 weeks, Mike McCarthy wanted to run the ball, and lean on the defense and limit giveaways. I understand that, but Dak Prescott last year, 15 interceptions, was an anomaly. And I mean, it was something that's not going to happen again. He rushed himself back from a broken thumb that had plates and screws in it because Cooper Rush was killing it, 4-0, and then he almost beat Philadelphia at Philly, and he would have beat Detroit at home and Chicago at home, and he didn't want Cooper Rush. He didn't want to, in front of his eyes, see a 2016 what he did to Tony Romo, Cooper Rush do to him. If Dak Prescott would have been out 9 weeks and Cooper Rush goes 7-1, just say Dak would have been out another 4 weeks, right? And Cooper Rush plays against Detroit, Chicago, Green Bay, and then whoever we played right after, Minnesota. And Cooper Rush wins those games as we did, but he doesn't lose against Green Bay. We go into that fourth quarter with a 14-point lead, and Cooper Rush doesn't go 3-and-out, 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 and give Aaron Rodgers all the time in the world to come back. And during that stretch, which would be like a 9-game stretch, Cooper Rush goes 8-1. There would have been a big QB controversy. So Dak got in front of it as soon as he could, came back against Detroit. The thumb was not close to being ready. I mean, he was able to throw the ball okay, but if you notice against Detroit, it was more run the ball because we were able to run the ball last season. He didn't pass much. It was 24-6. And we got lucky on that game because Detroit was going to take the lead in the fourth quarter before Tank Lawrence punched the ball out at the 1. Then against Chicago, Dak didn't have to do much. We ran crazy on him. Tony Pollard ran up and down the field. Defense had touchdowns. So, he had some help, as that thumb was getting better. So, if Philly's going to drop 2 out of the next 3, it's going to be at Kansas City. It's going to be home against San Fran. We need them to do that. It's the only way we win the division is if we have a better record than Philly outright. Better record outright. December 10th, when they come in to Arlington, it's in Arlington, Texas, we hope that we're both 9-3. Because if we are, then whoever wins that game will be head and shoulders above the other team by a full game. Now, if Philly happens to beat us and sweep us, that'll be a 1.5 game lead, which will still, be a tiebreaker. We'll still have to have a better record. But we play very good at home, as we know. We've won 12 in a row. We go on the road this Sunday. After that, at home against Washington, at home against Seattle. So when Philly comes to our house, we'll be on a 14-game home winning streak. Because I don't think Washington's going to beat us. They're playing tough. Sam Howell leads the league in passing yards. Believe it or not, he is number 1 in passing yardage. And Seattle's pretty good, but they're not as good as us. They're not. And we're going to show that Thursday night on Prime Video. Shoot. Hold on 1 second, guys. Apparently, I have a painting business, so sometimes when I get phone calls, I have to answer because it could be a big-time customer. I could be $10,000 on the other line. You never know. So the 2 people in the show with me right now, give me your score prediction for Sunday at Carolina. I've got mine pretty simple. I mean, pretty similar to last week. Except I think we break 50. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Now, what I don't want to happen is I want a dominant win, right? You want to blow out the teams you're supposed to blow out, especially the one-win Panther team with Bryce Young, the quarterback. I like to pull out a score of like 70, like Miami did against Denver, like 70-3 or 70-10, 70-7, something like that. But I don't want to do that, and then put up all them points and then have this team's head get real big again, and then have Washington, scrappy Washington, come to town 4 days later, and then give us a sucker punch and give us a trap game loss. Now, that's what I don't want. I want us to be able to stay focused if we dominate crazy like that. Where it's like 42-0 at halftime. That's 6 touchdowns. And then in the second half, backups come in, Cooper Rush, Chuma Adoga, TJ Bass, Brock Hoffman, Tolbert, keep Michael Gallup in there because he needs the reps. And then our backups, even score 4 touchdowns in the second half to make it 70. Offense or defense, don't matter. But I think if we're able to put up 70, like Miami did against Denver, that'll open people's eyes to be like, man, this team, we knew they had nuclear capability. We didn't know that they had weapons of mass destruction capability. But we're not going to score 70. Being that's a road game, it's funny because we're only favored by 10.5, and against the Giants we were favored by 17.5. I figure we'll win the game like 45 to 9. I don't think we let them in the end zone. They did get 3 field goals. 45-9. Dak Cooks. I think Brandon Cooks gets his second 100-yard game and starts finally getting in sync with Prescott, and they finally start figuring out how to utilize our number 2. CeeDee Lamb gets 100, of course, and Gallup gets 100. I'm calling all 3 of our receivers get 100 yards. Michael Gallup's first 100-yard game this year against Arizona, he had like 94. Michael Gallup is just this close to getting over that mental hurdle. It's all in his head. He's completely healthy now. Last season, not so much, but this year he's completely healthy. Last year he got hurt late 2021, very late in the season. So last year he came back week 4 or whatnot. He wasn't right. This year he's 100% healthy. 100% healthy. It's mental with him. He's got to trust his knee whenever he cuts or jumps and comes down. He's got to trust that his knee is good, and it is. Once he does that, he'll be back to the MG13 that we all know. Those 2 catches that he hauled in against the Giants, that's the Michael Gallup that we know, the X guy on the outside that goes out and makes some plays. And he made some good plays against Philly too. He could draw those PIs, especially one-on-one. On that 1st and 10 from our own 15, he drew that 35-yard pass interference penalty on James Bradbury, who I don't think is very good, to be honest with you. Our team is very good. Our defense is good. That's what makes it such a kick in the ass that Trayvon Diggs, who I believe is ready to be the best corner in the league this season, goes out after 2 games for the whole season. I'd have rather him, have like 6-7 week injury, of course, but losing him was a gut punch. He was like, him and Michael Parsons are the key to the defense. But being that we got Gilmore, thank God we got him, and being that the ascension of DeRon Bland helps kind of band-aid the Diggs, being out for the year. and having Jordan Lewis, who can be got, be our veteran slot corner. He's no rookie. He's been in the slot many years. Glad we didn't get rid of him. That would have saved $2 million for what? Cornerback depth. Depth is important across the board. And we had depth at cornerback. That's why we should have got Jalen Johnson. It'd have been a 1-year rental for sure, yeah. Because Chicago don't want to pay him. Mm-mm. And after this season, he'd have been a free agent. But he'd have been on the biggest stage. And he would want to ball out because all eyes would be on him every week because, we're the Cowboys. And then he balls out, has a hell of a season as cornerback 1, and then he gets it back in the offseason. That's worth a second-round pick to me because our second-round picks ain't worth a damn. I mean, Trayvon Diggs is the only good second-round pick that we've had in the last, 8 drafts. Our last second-round pick is bad. Bad. Schoonmaker still has 3 catches for 14 yards. 3 drops. 1 touchdown. Why would we draft in the second round? Why would we take a tight end that's older than our starting young tight end and not as good in the second round? You could find that in the 5th round. Hell, in the second round, take the lineman that was there. Take Osiris Torrance. I mean, God. I thought for sure. I was already writing that down. I was like, man, Osiris Torrance, who a lot had him graded as the top guard in the draft. I was like, man, he fell to 58. I was already putting him down. I was waiting to hear those words. Pick 58 in the second round, Dallas Cowboys select out of whatever school you went to, offensive guard, Osiris Torrance. I hear Luke Schoonmaker. I'm like, who is that? And then I'm trying to see the upside of it. Maybe, he's, an older rookie and he can block very well. Maybe they see him as a double feature threat, a good blocking tight end that can catch a ball, got size, but maybe he just needs another year. Maybe he's just a rookie. I don't know. Ferguson was a rookie, but looked good, as a rookie. If we get on top of Carolina and end the game quickly, and the game's over by halftime, Mozzie Smith needs to take every rep in the second half of that ball game. He needs to get every rep that he can get. That's how you get better. What I don't understand is like against the Patriots, 38-3. The game was over at halftime. And Mozzie Smith had 17 snaps all game. He played 17 plays all game. So I'm like, if the game is over, why not have Mozzie play the entire second half? Why not? Why are you keeping him on the sideline? You afraid that explosive New England offense is going to come back on you? Mozzie needs reps. Every real-time game rep he can get. That's just my thought. But having 4 games in 18 days, and the first 2 being the Giants and Panthers, makes that 4 games in 18-day stretch a lot easier. And then having Washington as your third one, they're good. They gave Seattle a run for the money on Sunday, but I think, by the third quarter, we'll have that game put away. It's not like a gauntlet schedule, the 4 games in 18 days. And then we drop Seattle at home, which we should. That'll be our first win against a team with a winning record, and we'll get some credit for that. And that'll give us 10 days to prepare for Philly. Philly will play that Sunday, we'll play that Thursday. So, those extra days to prepare for the Eagles do help. That rest period, it's like a mini bye week that we get every year. That mini bye week will help, especially playing at home against the gangrene. There's 2 people watching. You have any thoughts of your own on this matter? Or? Not really. San Fran has Tampa Bay. Unless San Fran just completely shits the bed like they did against Minnesota. Cleveland played them tough, but Minnesota, they just, blew that. And then who they lose to after Minnesota? Cincinnati. The Bengals were just playing very good. Bengals are the Bengals. But yeah, only way San Fran loses to Tampa is if they just don't show up, or if Tampa gets hot. I mean, they do have a pretty good defense still. I mean, Vinavea, Shaquille Barrett, Levante David, Devin Smith, Antoine Winfield Jr., Carlton Davis. If that defense can stifle that offense and Baker Mayfield can work up some magic, you never know. Detroit, I think they have Chicago. So they'll drop a game before they play us. So whenever they play us, we probably will have the same amount of losses, or they might have one less, but they'll be playing us at our house. And we handle business against them, then we'll have the tiebreaker over them, the same record. But we need Philly to drop 2 of the next 3 for sure. Buffalo is now not looking so daunting. Whenever we go to Buffalo, it doesn't look like that daunting of a task now, especially as opportunistic as our defense is. Even if it's cold weather, I think our defense can give, Josh Allen hell and take that ball away a few times. Miami will be tough, especially if they're healthy. If Teron Armstead's out there, Isaiah Wynn and Connor Williams, if their offensive line's intact, and they got Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard out there, and Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, that'll be a tough road test, a damn tough road test right there. But if we unlocked the key to getting Brandon Cooks into this offense and involved, because he is a number one everywhere. He's a baller, man. He's got 1,000 yards with 4 different teams, 5 different quarterbacks. If we finally figured out how to get him involved, our offense is going to be uber dangerous. And if our offensive line can stay healthy, and Tyron Smith on the big games for sure can be out there, healthy, playing like he did against Philly, and we give Rico Dowdle the ball more. Rico needs to get more touches at the running back position. He can run the ball very well. He's not as fast as Pollard, but he's more physical, and he can soften up that defense for TP. And our defense can still play with the best of them. Especially, we're stopping the run pretty good now. Especially if we can get pressure on that quarterback. We can play good man coverage. Malik Hooker can play good free safety. At the trade deadline, man, I knew Surtain was untouchable, but I really wanted to go for Justin Simmons. I would have given a first-round pick in a heartbeat, Malik Hooker, a first-round pick, and a Deshaun Wright for Justin Simmons. That free safety is a monster, man. And us playing cover 1 with someone like him back there, similar to the Eagles getting Kevin Byard, except the Eagles can't play man coverage like we can. Because they get torched. James Bradbury, very overrated. Darius Slay, very overrated. Slay is good, but he's not a top corner. They call him Big Play Slay because he makes timely interceptions. Usually on bad balls. Just like DaRon Bland this year. DaRon Bland has had 3 pick sixes. All those balls were poorly thrown, bad balls. But, opportunistic. He saw the opportunity, didn't miss it, took him to the house. No different than Darius Slay. Oh, man. It's going to be a big week 11, I can tell you that. I had 2 people in here the whole time. 1 person pressed the like button. Oh, hell. That's just, my thoughts on week 11. I'll actually make a real video about week 11. Shut the door here. But since nobody's being interactive, nobody's chatting, nobody said a word, I don't understand that. Is the chat working? Yes. The chat's working. Does anybody have any thoughts on this matter before we close it out? Because I got a school function to go to. My little girl has something going down at her school. It's 5:06. Anybody want to be interactive? Score prediction for this week? What y'all think the Eagles Chiefs score will be on Monday night? What y'all think San Fran Tampa Bay's score will be on Sunday? Anybody with any thoughts on this matter, feel free to share that. That's what the live show is about. So we can interact live together. I mean, I could have just cut a video with everybody just, being mute. My score prediction, like I said, 45-9. I think we lit up 3 field goals and, blow up bad teams like we do. But I also think it'll be like a scrimmage. We'll be testing out different things, working Cooks into the system even more. These games are going to help us get better on offense. So when we play the heavy hitters, we'll be more equipped to play them. Alright, guys. Well, if y'all are watching this, please subscribe, like, and share. I cannot upload that enough. Anytime I look and I see a new subscriber, it really warms my heart. Help me get to 500. I'm like 146 away from that. Let's hit that first, guys, and then go from there. Again, I promise you, y'all will look forward to watching this show, man. This will be first-class content all day, every day. And that'll be my motto. Like Rome's got his, I'm back like I never left. Law, Nation, you listen to nothing but the best. Mark Holmes, his deal is in the beginning. Without you guys and gals. This is not possible. Everybody's got their own thing. So I think my signature phrase will be first-class content all day, every day. I'm not a genius. I can't predict the future. I'm not Mike Fisher. I don't work for the Star. I don't know the players and the coaches and the Joneses like he does. Law Nation's my favorite show. I would say Law's 1A and Mike Fisher's 1B. They're the 2 best, But for information, if you want to get straight facts, like he says, straight dope, no bullshit, you want to listen to Mike Fisher. Watch his Fish Has 6 episodes twice a day, because, he's there. He knows. This show's like Rome's show. It's like Cowboys fan talk. It's basically, what we've observed over 31 years of watching the Cowboys, watching Jerry Jones operate, watching this team play, and our thoughts of it. Well, guys, nice talking to you. I wish anybody would have said something. Oh. Okay, there we go. I'm tripping. Charles, Chiefs, 38-28, 32-28 over Philly. My chats are blocked for some reason. I do not know why. What's going on, Raymond? And Chris Gons. Thanks for being in here. Yeah, so Chiefs 32-28 over Philly. That's a pretty accurate prediction because if the Chiefs are going to win, probably be a high-scoring affair, even though they both have good defenses. The Chiefs have been allowing 16 points a game on defense, but, just like against our defense, they put up 28, even though they had the ball at the 40 twice. Illegal procedure by Brandon Aubrey and face mask by Rashaan Evans. But I think Patrick Mahomes is going to gut that secondary. I think Travis Kelce is going to have the night of his life. And if he doesn't, then all the other receivers will. Because, you double him, you got a lot of one-on-ones everywhere else. You got speed, and Mahomes can just throw guys open. And 32-28, I think it'd be like 32-21. Philly gets a late score, tries an onside kick, doesn't get it. Kansas City recovers, takes 3 knees, and then boom, they're 8-2. We're 7-3. That much closer. Winning the East is imperative. Even if we only get the 2 seed, even if we only get the number 2 seed, that'd be beautiful because our first 2 games will be at home, and that'll give us a very good shot at getting to the championship game. Can I get a moderating spot for you? Yeah, Raymond. As soon as I figure out how to do that, I'll have your name blue so you could be a channel moderator for me, my man. Especially whenever these live shows actually start to get people in, like 10, 20, 30 people in, you know what I mean? And then I'll hook up a call-in line as soon as we start getting people on live shows like that. But yeah, my bad. For some reason, top chat, some messages such as may not be visible live chat. So I need to make sure it's live chat. All messages are visible. That's why I could not see what y'all were putting down earlier. But yeah, that's pretty much what we want to expect this week on week 11. What's today? Wednesday. So yeah, tomorrow or Friday I'm gonna drop a video pregame show about the Panthers and a little mini pregame show with Philly, Kansas City, San Fran, Tampa Bay, Detroit, and I think they play in Chicago. Justin Fields will be back for that game. They do have that damn receiver they got, DJ Moore in that trade. Chicago's been such a letdown, man. I thought Chicago would come out and be the dark horse of the NFC as far as being a contender. And they have fallen flat on their face, man. For the number 1 overall pick, Carolina gave them the farm. With all them picks, I figured the 2 or 3 first round picks, and then 2 second round picks and a third round pick would be ample, and then they also give them DJ Moore, that number 1 receiver with speed. I was like, man, they got Chase Claypool last year in the trade also. I was like, Chicago gonna be ready to roll. Charles, thoughts on Brandon Cooks having, man, Chris Gunn's, my thoughts on Brandon Cooks getting 173 yards against the Giants is, I think, and I'm hoping that Brian Schottenheimer and Mike McCarthy are starting to figure out how to get him involved, because they didn't know how to use him. He's a speed guy, a guy that usually takes the top off the defense, but he's not just that. He can run every route in the route tree. He's a good route runner, and he runs every route with the same speed that he runs on a go route. So if we unlocked Brandon Cooks and he starts to become productive like that on a game-to-game basis, not 172 yards, of course, but what you expect from your number 2 or number 1B receiver, then our offense is going to be scary good. Because CeeDee Lamb is balling out like crazy. He's got 68 catches, right? CeeDee Lamb right now, 68 catches. That is 6th in the league. Number 1 is Keenan Allen and Stephon Diggs with 73. So it's only 5 catches more than Lamb that separates him from number 1, in catches in the NFL. He has 975 yards, does CeeDee Lamb. Number 2 is A.J. Brown with 1,005. That's only 30 more than Lamb. And number 1 is Tyreek Hill with 1,076. That's only 101 more than CeeDee Lamb. So, and Lamb has 4 touchdowns, Brown has 6, Tyreek has 8. I don't think Lamb will be able to get the triple crown this season, because you got to have the most catches, yards, and touchdowns. I think Tyreek Hill will have more touchdowns. But I think CeeDee Lamb's going to end the season with at least the most receiving yards than any receiver in the NFL this year. Because the first 5 games, he didn't have much. He had 1 big game against the Jets. Then they finally unlocked the offense, and then he's been going off. He had 191 against Philly, 150-something last week. Hell, who knows what he's going to get Carolina. I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, man. Hey, Raymond, go for it, my man. Go for it. Did they trade him? I don't know. I know last year Chicago traded for him, but they didn't retain Roquan Smith. They traded him to Baltimore. And then Jalen Johnson, they're not gonna get nothing for him. He just gonna walk. They'll probably get a comp pick for him. And we would have got a comp pick for him too. That's why I didn't understand. If they wanted a second round pick, give it to him. And then Jalen Johnson walks in the offseason, we get a third round comp pick. I mean, I don't know why we did not get that, man, but we have who we have, and we're gonna roll with it. But yeah, Raymond, do your thing, my man. Don't get frustrated. Pump out video after video, man, and you'll grow. Watch. Appreciate y'all for hanging out with me for the 40 minutes before I go to my little girl's performance. Guys, please subscribe, like, and share. Like I said, share this content too if you can. Chris and Raymond, help me get to 500. I'm close. And then when I hit 500, we'll hit 1,000. And when I hit 1,000, I'm telling you, when I hit that 1,000 mark, I'm gonna just catapult to another stratosphere. And this show is gonna be live. I'm gonna have studio equipment. I'm gonna have a sound bite. I'm gonna have everything. In a calling line. Let's see. I'm about to shove it right down. I'm about to show it. I'm about to shout it out right now and let you. All right, my man. Just in the chat, Raymond. Just put a link to your channel, and I'll surely check you out. I'm gonna go, guys. Thanks for y'all stepping in and kicking it with me. I'll catch y'all tomorrow or Friday, most likely Friday, because I don't work Friday. Friday's Thanksgiving feast at school with the kids, and I'll have time to do a good live show. So until then, guys, have a good rest of the week. Catch you on the flip side. Charles and Charges out.